Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also leave your comments. Please drop a like on the video and turn your post notification bell on. So in today's video guys, I will be sharing 10 ways in which Canada changed my life. So if you're interested in this video, please continue to watch on. The first thing I've learned, you guys, is how to take life one step at a time. So sometimes you have things that you want to achieve by X time or Y time, but coming to Canada really showed me that nobody's rushing you. Yes, you do have your timeline that you're working with, but you don't have that pressure of persons telling you to achieve X or Y by X time or Y time or by X age or Y age. So that really helps. So that is definitely one of the things that I've learned, how to live in the moment and not feel pressure to achieve anything that I've not yet achieved. And this takes us to the next lesson that I've learned, which is to bask in the moment because they never come back. So especially if you go to Canada as a student, you will realize that there are stages in the process. So after being a student, you have to move to the next step, which is getting PR, and then the next step, which is becoming a citizen if that is what you want. And you will realize that each stage in the process is very unique. And if you stress about the future, like if as a student you stress about getting PR, you stress about becoming a citizen, then you will be creating unnecessary stress for yourself because the whole process takes time and there's no skipping the line or going around it. So you might as well live in the moment, because once you work hard to achieve these things, they will come. So just live for now, everything else will work out. The next lesson that I've learned, you guys, is self-control. Yes, this is something very important when you move to a first world country, or if you move from your home country to go anywhere else, you'll realize that countries are very much different, cultures are very much different, and so you have to learn to adapt and adjust. For example, if you are from a country where you can just give your opinion on anything, even if it's not solicited, if it's not asked for, you have to cut back on that, because when you're in Canada, comments can sometimes get you into trouble. It can cause you to lose your job, it can cause you to lose your position in school. Say for example, in your country, you might look at a person and say, oh, you have gained a lot of weight. Over here, you have to be very mindful. Person's lifestyle are different and you have to be careful of the comments that you make. And this ties in nicely with the next point, which is tolerance. So tolerance is something that is very important here, and I might say everything is very important, but yeah, they really are. Tolerance is very important because person's lifestyle will not match up to what you are used to back home. Back home, you may not have the liberty to do certain things or to practice certain lifestyle. You can do these things that are considered the norm in this country. However, if you are back home, it might be taboo. So please be careful and be mindful of that, so that you don't come here and speak out against person's lifestyle or person's choice of entertainment or choice of sexuality or those type of things. You have to be careful that you tolerate people. So I'm not saying that you have to accept what they're doing, but just be a bit tolerant, and that is what I've also learned. In saying this, a lot of persons might come to you and they speak highly of their animals or their pets, and you may not be a pet person because where you are from, this is just not the culture, or your household is just not a pet household, and so you may be tempted, I want to look a dog, yeah babe, suffer. Please do not do that, you guys. I do not advise anybody to do that, especially in the workplace. This can cause you to lose your job. So that is also another lesson that I've learned. Not the hard way, but I've learned it. The next point that I've learned is to be appreciative of my family and friends. So you know that I'm an introvert, and I used to think that I don't need anybody to survive. I can do it all on my own. However, since coming to Canada, I realized that people are definitely important, and the fact that I have been away from my family for so long, I realized that I really need them, and I really miss them, and I really love them. So that is the next thing to really appreciate. I now talk to them more on the phone, and I feel a lot more connected to them, even though I'm disconnected because I'm at a distance. But I've learned to appreciate them more since coming here. The next lesson, you guys, is humility. So yes, Some persons would attest to the fact that back home in their country, it's all about who drives the biggest car, who owns the biggest house, and that's how you rank persons. However, in Canada, it teaches you to be humble. Not that I was not a humble person before, but there's nobody for you to brag on. Nobody's bragging on you about their achievements, and so you just know that anything that you achieve in life is just things that you want for yourself. So if you want a big house, it's not because your neighbor has a big house, it's just because this is what you want for yourself. You have always wanted a big house, or this is something that you want, because there's literally no competition. Nobody brags about driving the biggest car, nobody brags about owning the biggest house, nobody brags about wearing any designer. So it really teaches you to be humble and to live with what you have and to satisfy. The next point, you guys, is how to be confident. So I already stated in previous videos that I'm a shy person, I'm a more reserved person, and I am introverted. However, coming to Canada, I realized that those qualities will definitely not cut it. I have to step out and show up and show out. Why? Because I am different, one, and two, it is twice as hard for females to really get there in foreign countries, and based on what I observe in Canada. So I've learned to be confident. Confidence is definitely key, because if you are reserved, nobody will come and search to see if you are this type of person, if you are the best person for the job or the best person for the role. You definitely have to just show up and show that you are that girl or you are that guy. So you have to work on your confidence when you are coming here. The next lesson I've learned is every job matters. So where I am from, some people look down on this job and say, oh, I will never do this job or I will never do that job. But coming to Canada, you will realize that every job is important and everybody is valued. So it doesn't matter what kind of job you are doing, you are definitely valued. That is a lesson that you can learn, that if you come here, do not look down on any job. You will be paid for it. The money that you will get, you'll be able to cover your bills. So you don't have to look down on this job. Not saying that you should settle, because that is something different. However, you will learn that nobody's going to look down on you because you are doing this job, that job. You will also notice that even persons who are doing menial jobs, who are doing survival jobs, they are driving the big cars and they do own the big houses. So to look down on them would be foolish on your part. The next lesson I've learned, you guys, is that skills are very important. So if you are from a country where persons look down on skills, persons look down on trade, if you're not in a professional job, then you are not considered. It's not the case like that here. You will realize that skills really pay a lot of money here, and skills are really what gets you to easily open that business. So yeah, if you have your profession or your degree in this, those are also important. Those can land you the good paying jobs. Not that, as I said, skills can also give you that good paying job, but the point that I'm making is that with your skills, it is easier for you to decide that you're going to be a hairdresser, you're going to be a dressmaker, you're going to be a carpenter who works at your own pace and your own time, as opposed to working for somebody else. Or as opposed to, if you have a degree, what really can you quickly do to make money from, if you get what I mean. So skills are definitely important here. They do pay a lot, and it is an easy pathway for you to open your own business. Because when you come to Canada, you will realize that the working world or the work culture here is that you will work. And especially if you have your family, you will find that you will be away from your family a lot. So to avoid all of that, I would advise you find out what your skills are and hone them, or try to learn a skill. It's very important, you guys. When you come, you will also learn that lesson, I can guarantee you. And the final lesson, and the biggest one that I've learned, is that modesty is very much important. So what I mean is that you would learn to appreciate what you have, especially if you have been in a situation during your journey where you have never had certain things, or you have been broke, or you have gone through it. Then you will realize that the fact that you have survived these moments, then you don't really need much to survive at all. So I'm not saying that anybody should settle for being broke. What I'm saying is that life, the fact that you have been broke before, and the fact that you don't have to compete with anybody, and the fact that nobody is flashy here, you will settle with the things that you have, and you will realize that everything else that you have achieved, those are just plus, those are just wants, those are not needs. So when you're here, your basic needs will definitely be covered. That is why you are working, and that is why you will take that money with you that you're supposed to have. But modesty, you will definitely see where that comes out, where you don't need a lot to be happy. You do not need a lot to be happy here. So that is a big lesson I've learned, and I am glad that I have learned that. So guys, these are the 10 things that I have learned, and I would love to hear lessons that you have also learned in the comment section down below, so don't be scared to drop those. If you have made it this far, guys, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn your post notification bell on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.